"'Tis right, very right, very fit it should be done," the men muttered one to another. But the four boys cried out against the injustice of it. "Our lives is just as dear to us as the rest iv yez," O'Brien protested, "and our families too. As for wives and children, who's there savin' meself to care for me old mother that's a widow, as ye know well, Michael Behane, that comes from Limerick? 'Tis not fair. Let the lots be drawn between all of us, men and boys." Mahoney was the only man who spoke in favor of the boys, declaring that it was the fair thing for all to share alike. Sullivan and the captain insisted on the drawing of lots being confined to the boys. There were high words, in the midst of which Sullivan turned upon O'Brien, snarling, "'Twould be a good deed to put you out of the way. You deserve it. 'Twould be the right way to serve you, and serve you we will." He started toward O'Brien, with intent to lay hands on him and proceed at once with the killing, while several others likewise shuffled toward him and reached for him. He stumbled backwards to escape them, at the same time crying that he would submit to the drawing of the lots among the boys. The captain prepared 4 sticks of different lengths and handed them to Sullivan. "You're thinking the drawing'll not be fair," the latter sneered to O'Brien, "so it's yourself'll do the drawin'." To this O'Brien agreed. A handkerchief was tied over his eyes, blindfolding him, and he knelt down on the deck with his back to Sullivan. "Whoever you name for the shortest stick'll die," the captain said. Sullivan held up one of the sticks. The rest were concealed in his hand, so that no one could see whether it was the short stick or not. "And whose stick will it be?" Sullivan demanded. "For little Johnny Sheehan," O'Brien answered. Sullivan laid the stick aside. Those who looked could not tell if it were the fatal one. Sullivan held up another stick. "Whose will it be?" "For George Burns," was the reply. The stick was laid with the first one, and a third held up. "And whose is this one?" "For myself," said O'Brien. With a quick movement Sullivan threw the 4 sticks together. No one had seen. "'Tis for yourself ye've drawn it," Sullivan announced. "A good deed," several of the men muttered. O'Brien was very quiet. He arose to his feet, took the bandage off, and looked around. "Where is it?" he demanded. "The short stick, the one for me." The captain pointed to the 4 sticks lying on the deck. "How do you know the stick was mine?" O'Brien questioned. "Did you see it, Johnny Sheehan?" Johnny Sheehan, who was the youngest of the boys, did not answer. "Did you see it?" O'Brien next asked Mahoney. "No, I didn't see it." The men were muttering and growling. "'Twas a fair drawing," Sullivan said. "Ye had your chanst, and ye lost. That's all ift ut." "A fair drawing," the captain added. "Didn't I behold it myself? The stick was yours, O'Brien, and ye may as well get ready. Where's the cook? Gorman, come here. Fetch the tureen cover. Some of ye, Gorman, do your duty like a man." "But how'll I do it?" the cook demanded. He was a weak-eyed, weak-chinned, indecisive man. "'Tis a damn murder!" O'Brien cried out. "I'll have none of it," Mahoney announced. "Not a bite shall pass me lips." "Then 'tis your share for better men than yourself," Sullivan sneered. "Go on with your duty, cook." "'Tis not me duty, the killing of boys," Gorman protested irresolutely. "If yez don't make mate for us, we'll be making mate of yourself," Behane threatened. "Somebody must die, and as well you as another." Johnny Sheehan began to cry. O'Brien listened anxiously. His face was pale, his lips trembled, and at times his whole body shook. "I signed on as cook," Gorman announced, "and cook I would if galley there was. But I'll not lay me hands to murder. 'Tis not in the articles. I'm the cook." "And cook you'll be for 1 minute more only," Sullivan said grimly, at the same moment gripping the cook's head from behind and bending it back till the windpipe and jugular were stretched taut. "Where's your knife, Mike? Pass it along." At the touch of the steel, Gorman whimpered. "I'll do it, if yez hold the boy." The pitiable condition of the cook seemed in some fashion to nerve up O'Brien. "It's all right, Gorman," he said. "Go on wid it. 'Tis meself knows you're not wanting to do it. It's all right, sir." This to the captain, who had laid a hand heavily on his arm. "Ye won't have to hold me, sir. I'll stand still." "Stop your blithering and go get that tureen cover," Behane commanded Johnny Sheehan, at the same time dealing him a heavy cuff alongside the head. The boy, who was scarcely more than a child, fetched the cover. He crawled and tottered along the deck, so weak was he from hunger. The tears still ran down his cheeks. Behane took the cover from him, at the same time administering another cuff. O'Brien took off his coat and bared his right arm. His underlip still trembled, but he held a tight grip on himself. The captain's penknife was opened and passed to Gorman. "Mahoney, tell me mother what happened to me, if ever ye get back," O'Brien requested. Mahoney nodded. "'Tis black murder, black and damned," he said. "The boy's flesh do none of yez any good. Mark me words, ye'll not profit by it, none of yez." "Get ready," the captain ordered. "You, Sullivan, hold the cover. That's it. Close up. Spill nothing. It's precious stuff." Gorman made an effort. The knife was dull. He was weak. Besides, his hand was shaking so violently that he nearly dropped the knife. The three boys were crouched apart, in a huddle, crying and sobbing. With the exception of Mahoney, the men were gathered about the victim, craning their necks to see. "Be a man, Gorman," the captain cautioned. The wretched cook was seized with a spasm of resolution, sawing back and forth with the blade on O'Brien's wrist. The veins were severed. Sullivan held the tureen cover close underneath. The cut veins gaped wide, but no ruddy flood gushed forth. There was no blood at all. The veins were dry and empty. No one spoke. The grim and silent figures swayed in unison with each heave of the ship. Every eye was turned fixedly upon that inconceivable and monstrous thing, the dry veins of a creature that was alive. "'Tis a warning," Mahoney cried. "Lave the boy alone. Mark me words, his death'll do none of yez any good. Try at the elbow, the left elbow. 'Tis nearer the heart," the captain said finally, in a dim and husky voice that was unlike his own. "Give me the knife," O'Brien said roughly, taking it out of the cook's hand. "I can't be looking at ye putting me to hurt." Quite coolly he cut the vein of the left elbow, but, like the cook, he failed to bring blood. "This is all iv no use," Sullivan said. "'Tis better to put him out of his misery by bleeding him at the throat." The strain had been too much for the lad. "Don't be doing ut," he cried. "There'll be no blood in me throat. Give me a little more time. 'Tis cold, and weak I am. Be letting me lay down and slape a bit. Then I'll be warm and the blood'll flow." "'Tis no use," Sullivan objected. "As if ye could be slaping at a time like this. Ye'll not slape, and ye'll not warm up. Look at ye now. You've an ague." "I was sick at Limerick one night," O'Brien hurried on, "and the doctor couldn't bleed me. But after slaping a few hours and getting warm in bed, the blood came freely. It's God's truth I'm telling yez. Don't be murdering me." "His veins are open now," the captain said. "'Tis no use leaving him in his pain. Do it now and be done with it." They started to reach for O'Brien, but he backed away. "I'll be the death of yez," he screamed. Take your hands off of me!